Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. A lot of people talking today about what we witnessed last night when the Indiana Fever played the Connecticut Sun, noting Connecticut Sun's thug ball. Now, I was live during the game last night, and I did a video afterwards, a video about how the Sun got introduced to enforcer Sophie Cunningham. When I was editing that video, preparing it to bring to you all, I needed some screenshots. So I had video footage, and then I commenced to get screenshots. Shots of JC Sheldon riding Caitlin Clark like a horse, grabbing onto her arm, gouging her eyes, Marina Mabry pushing Caitlin to the floor, Caitlin on the floor. What I did not notice until today was some people sitting courtside, because my focus was on the court. Caitlin's here. But if you raise your eyes a little bit and look at the full picture, you see something that I did not see last night. Two people in particular, as Caitlin's on the floor. One adult, she's got her phone up, recording, it appears, and her mouth is wide open because she is as flabbergasted as we were watching the game. Next to her is a girl, and her eyes are on the floor as she's watching Caitlin lying on the floor. And obviously, as she saw up close what just took place, the eye gouge, the throwdown, people having to be separated, and then, of course, again, Caitlin on the floor. Now, I'm going to make an assumption here. I think it's an educated assumption. It's an observant assumption. And that is that those two people were there to see Caitlin Clark. Not saying they're not Fever fans in general. I'm just saying that it's an educated guess that Caitlin Clark brought the people to the arena. We know that. If we did not know the impact she has, all we got to do is remind ourselves of the numbers that came out while Caitlin was injured, down 55% in viewership and even 53% among Fever games, viewership on the television. So whether you're talking about television or if you're talking about in person, people want to see Caitlin Clark play. So I feel pretty confident that there at courtside, this young girl is likely there because she wants to see her favorite basketball player, and that is Caitlin Clark. And what she witnessed is a tragedy. This league talks about the young girls, talks about wanting the young girls to be inspired. Many of these players talk about the young girls. Caitlin Clark herself talks about how when she was younger, she admired Maya Moore and how she was so excited to get an opportunity to see Maya play. And she does so much for young people. And she says, I take the time to sign the autographs or give away the shoes and all the things that Caitlin does. She said, because I was once that young girl who had dreams playing in the WNBA and looked up to some of these players. What this league is allowing is a disgrace. It's not just a disgrace for people like Caitlin, who seems to be the target of everyone's, not everyone, honestly. I don't want to put that on everyone. Too many, I'll be fair, seems to be the target of too many people's jealousy and frustration. But it's also a tragedy to these young girls that this league says they want to be dialed in to this league. She comes to the arena. She gets a courtside seat. And what is she looking at? She's looking at likely her favorite player, lying on the floor, not because she had a serious injury or anything like that, some fluke thing that happened, but because somebody else in this league decided that it was okay to knock her to the floor again. It baffles me that this league will not figure out how to do what this league needs to do. Obvious to every single one of us. Commissioner, where are you? If I'm an adult, if I'm a parent, I bring my kid to the arena to watch basketball, but instead I have my kid who probably loves Caitlin Clark, talks about Caitlin Clark, may want to be like Caitlin Clark. How traumatic it could be to then see somebody go after that person's eyeballs and then knock them to the floor. This is the message that you want to send, WNBA. This is what you want people to walk away from your games with. Your star player in this league, the face of this league, being treated like absolute crap, and children getting a chance to see it. And you know what? It's not just children. I don't know how old or young that girl is, but anybody. We got old folks who never liked basketball or always liked basketball, and they're watching. They really appreciate Caitlin's game. They want to cheer Caitlin on. They want to see Caitlin succeed. They want to see this league succeed by extension of Caitlin. And this league makes it so difficult. You want people to show up at games? How about you make sure your players understand that fans are not going to come to the stadium to find their favorite player on the floor because somebody with jealousy and frustration decided, yeah, I'm going to treat her like my punching bag. Speaking of jealousy and frustration, over on the second channel today, Adrienne Ross Squared, I get into this whole situation with Caitlin Clark, this whole situation with JC Sheldon, with Marina Mabrey, with the Connecticut Sun, with how dangerous it is when people are eaten up with jealousy and frustration. So make sure you go over to the second channel, and I will put the link to the channel in the description of this video. Be sure to thumbs up that video and subscribe over on Adrienne Ross Squared. Sports are a microcosm of society. Society has issues. These players, unfortunately, have issues. Nobody's children should be subjected to the issues that these individuals have because they're jealous, they're frustrated, they're mean and evil, some of them. But this has got to come down to this league. You cannot continue to have. I wasn't looking at the people in the crowd. I was looking at Caitlin on the floor. That was the screenshot I wanted, and it wasn't until today. Again, it wasn't until today that I looked up and I saw those eyes looking at the floor. When these young people, remember, my background is in teaching. Nearly 20 years of teaching 7th grade English. I care about kids. I coached kids as well, young people. They probably say, I'm not kid coach. High schoolers, varsity basketball. What these young people want to do, they want to look up to people like Caitlin. They want to look up to that player that they got an opportunity to see courtside. They don't expect to be looking down at that player on the floor. When I took my team to go see Cynthia Cooper when she came to New York, we got an opportunity to take pictures with her. They got an opportunity to speak with her. They look up to her. Instead, in this league, you never know. In the blink of an eye, you'll find yourself looking down at a player like Caitlin Clark, who has done nothing but advocate for these people, even admitted some kind of nonsense because they want her to be the voice of everything and solve every problem in the world. She's taken that on as well. She tried to get them more money. She's doing her part to help this league. And what does this league do? This league allows people to treat her like garbage and then allows their fans to come in. First of all, let's not even talk about they want to make the fans seem like a bunch of racist and horrible people. That's bad enough. But then after we pay our money and we keep showing up and we're just here to cheer on and we're helping put money in your pocket and all the stuff, buying the merch and all the things that people are doing, it, particularly Indiana Fever fans, all that, we get treated to chaos because players have not been put in check, because officials let it go too long. And then you got a Sophie who's got to step up and be the enforcer. And the sad thing about it is that many of us are like, yeah, JC got what she deserved. And we don't want to feel like that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to have them brawling. They're supposed to be professional basketball players. And yet, because we've seen so much so long, we even find ourselves like, good, I'm glad she got it. And that's a horrible way to feel because we don't want to feel like that. But the way this league is, it makes it so difficult to like. And it's bad enough when it happens to Caitlin. It's bad enough when it happens to Sophie. It's bad enough when it happens to anybody on playing the game. It's bad enough, but it's just the utmost horrible when it affects these young people who come in all their innocence and excitement and get treated to thug ball and looking down at the player they most admire and look up to. Something has to change. Once again, go over to the second channel, check out what I got to say about this situation, the jealousy, the frustration, the danger. Again, the link to the second channel, Adrienne Ross Squared, is in the description of this video. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.